Concealed amongst a flock of blackbirds, Isaac soared across the evening sky. Obeying the call of his mother's shrine that served like a lighthouse, he flew westward until he reached a gated community near the province of Houston. A modest 4-story mansion sprawled over a 20-acre estate. In the center was an open stone courtyard. Galmoria's sculpture glowed with a purple mist. Still masked by the birds, he alighted and sat down on the circle drive. Now that Isaac morphed into humanoid form, the flock of escorts returned to the sky. His loyal wraith servant Ira had furnished the interior with his treasures from kingdoms and realms across the stars, using her inherent wraith powers to pull inanimate objects through the voids. Several slender white snake-like skins of Yag-Yagts hung like wall art, and an enormous Gorgon rat skull was mounted above the corridor's threshold. The ashen skull blended spectacularly with the dark marble walls rimmed with almond trim. Isaac admired the mounted rat skull as he recalled the last time he had encountered one of the ancient beasts from the barren lands on Pelodrench. A fierce beast whose acid saliva had nearly cost Isaac his face, leaving behind a splotchy scar along his right cheek. But the meat of a Gorgon rat was more succulent than a human's firstborn child. The wraith Isaac had acquired nearly 2 centuries ago floated toward him. Her nude silhouette hovered above the stone floor.
Evening, Master.
Food.
Of course.
Isaac followed her down another long corridor and into a spacious dining area. When she disappeared into a neighboring room, he ran a finger along the long cherry wood table, which he had acquired from the last king of a Brimstrot clan nearly a century ago, days before the king's assassination by the Rheingar legions, the king's own nephew's army. Ira returned, rolling a dinner cart with a raw female child strapped to it. The child's tongue had been removed, which pleased Isaac. The small girl could only protest with wordless utterances. Otherwise, her pathetic pleading would grow tiresome and sour his stomach. Chandelier light reflected off Ira's scalp as she stood beside the table.
I have stocked the freezer with the freshest of meats. The master bedroom's closet is full with plenty of garments for this world and era.
She gestured to a stack of neatly folded clothes on the edge of the table. Clothes. A temporary annoyance he would be forced to endure before returning to his lair. Isaac's gaze slid down Ira's naked body. His finger traced her inner thigh until it stopped at her inner groin.
Continue.
Your private sanctuary has been prepared as you instructed. 3rd floor, west wing, 4th door on the right. Your mother's altar has been constructed. It is located in the courtyard.
You have done well.
This was once my home world. I am very pleased to have returned.
Turn around.
Yes, Master.
He positioned himself behind her and pressed his erect penis against her naked backside. He gripped her hips, steadying her as he thrust into lithe folds. The black specks in his Narkush stone turned ruby once again as he shoved inside her phantom but corporeal sex. She eternally smelled of fresh lavender and felt like silk petals. Unappealing. But she was tighter than any living creature he had ever fucked, so he tolerated the lack of primal aspects. Claws grew from his fingers. Pools of frothy saliva oozed from his snarling lips. Ira dipped her head to the side, opening herself for him. His teeth bit into her cold, spongy shoulder. His body shook when his seed exploded into her phantom womb. Claw marks were left etched into the wood walls. Isaac tore away from his wraith and turned toward the child on the serving tray. He bore his canines and licked her tear-stained cheek, but she did not move, not so much as flinch. Pathetic. How he longed for the hunt and detested being fed like a caged animal. Isaac snorted and snatched slacks from the table. Claws retracted as he stepped into the pants. He strode down the long hallway. Ira followed. Isaac opened the front door and was greeted by a slender human female with dark hair and glasses.
I'm Waverly, head of the Subdivision Management Committee.
She extended her tiny, manicured hand. Isaac waited. The woman nodded and let her hand fall to the side. Her gaze drifted past him and found Ira, naked, smiling, recently fucked. The human's complexion flushed red. She played with the hem of her white shorts, diverting her attention back to him.
Just stopped by to welcome you and your wife to the neighborhood.
Ira is my oath-bound servant.
I see. Yes. Well, I'm not one to judge. This is a friendly community, and we welcome all kinds and accept all lifestyles.
Isaac waited. She shuffled her feet and fidgeted with her bare arm.
I hate to trouble you any more than I already have, but have you seen my little girl? Her name's Madeline.
No.
Well, if you see her, will you please tell her to hurry home? She's got black hair, blue eyes.
With a crooked finger, he motioned Ira closer. When she neared, he slipped his finger under her chin, lifting her head. He looked into her pale face.
You have done well.
Ira smiled. It was the same sincere gesture she had always given after receiving praise. His attention returned to the child on the cart.
Take it to Sacred Oaks and release it, so that I may hunt it.
As you command, Master Isaac.